say something?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I can hear y'all great.
Fantastic.
I like this. It's a very meta experience. Yeah. Very weird. It's very like complex voyeurism. You know what I mean? Because we're like in this little bubble together.
And everybody's just staring.
Yeah.
Our air studio is similar to that, where we're just in this room with no windows, and it's just got like one window where people in the hall can stare at us, and it's like
And they do
they do
for
bad.
hours, and it's just
It's weird.
I like it now.
You like it?
It was
Feels
off-putting, off-putting at first, but now I'm into it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's always that way, right?
Totally. Yeah, an interesting energy, I suppose.
Now I dig.
Yeah.
Noobs, do you want to start it off?
Go ahead.
Are you
Go
sure?
ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Ready? Oh, I guess we're rolling. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen of A&R Music Bar, please welcome Leah from Slothrust to the stage.
Give it up.
Greetings.
That's right.
Greetings. That is the first time a Blitz artist has ever said greetings. to a
Greetings
crowd.
to all.
Greetings.
I went to the Renaissance Fair a few weeks ago in California. And it
Nice.
was fire.
Yes.
Nice.
So the Renaissance Fair, so you get the big chicken leg and you're like,
Yeah, they also have like artichoke and butter. It's an interesting one, just like a whole artichoke and a little thing of butter. People go wild with it.
yes, I love artichoke. It makes me so happy. So you guys are going to be hitting the stage today at 7 o'clock.
Yes.
So please make sure you go over and see Slothrust. Now, there's Kyle and Will in your band as well. They're taking care of some of that business. So
Yes.
I wanted to thank you for coming by.
You're so welcome.
I have one question for you. You guys covered Marcy Playground, Sex and Candy. And it's an awesome cover, and it's on one of your albums. What made you choose that particular song?
So that was a song that always really stuck with me from when I was a kid. It came on the radio all the time, and I would always listen to it. It makes me think of this one babysitter I had in particular, actually.
That makes me nervous.
Wow, that's not okay. Is this something you want to share here? Do we have
No,
professionals?
no,
Okay,
no,
okay.
nothing like that. It's a good association. We used to drive around and listen to it.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
Very cool.
Right
yeah,
on.
and we
right
all
on.
just kind of knew how to play it. We just started playing it one day, and we're like, oh yeah, we know how to play that one.
I like the Britney Spears cover off that album. That was my
Okay,
favorite. I
thank
love it.
you.
So I got to talk to you about the best marketing thing I've ever seen for a band ever. And you guys can check this out there. Go to slothrustgame.com. This is a version of Oregon Trail that involves the band Slothrust. It
Yes.
is ridiculous fun. Who came up with this idea?
I would say that that's the brainchild of Will, mostly. A bit Kyle as well, but I feel like the two of them kind of conceptualized it together and originally wanted to make, a real board game.
Yeah.
And then they looked into the logistics of it, and it was too complicated.
Right.
So, we thought, why not try it digital? And then this guy, Chris Trevero, who was at Dangerbird Records, helped execute that. And, yeah, he had some really cool ideas, and I think it came out well.
Cool. It's amazing. You can stream then the Spotify playlist from Slothrust while you play the game. It's neat and interactive, but I had a problem when I played it last night. What, I just wrote something. I picked Kyle as my character. Okay.
Okay.
And do you remember the original, Ronnie? Do you remember the original Oregon Trail?
Yes.
You never got a lot of food to start because you could always hunt and scavenge and, get food that way. I didn't get any food. I got like 5 pounds of food.
Sure.
Kyle ate it in a half day and he died
Oh
by
my
the end of day
God.
one.
That little troll.
So is this a flaw in the game? Is this I figured, well, here's the thing. I was like, oh, Kyle's fine. He can scavenge in dumpsters or put peanut M&Ms on the rider or something like that to get food
Sure,
during
sure.
the tour.
Only the brown ones, though.
Right, exactly. Is this something about Kyle, or is this a flaw in the game, or am I awful for thinking that Kyle can eat out of a dumpster and he'll be fine?
I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I think it's
Please.
an algorithm
Okay.
that triggers various things happening to various members of the band.
And they
It's-
don't survive if they don't have food.
It's hard to say how meticulously it was designed in terms of what was real. Most likely, I would get sick, I'd catch a cold, and
Right.
be about it.
Right. Will had the flu a couple times when on
Will
game
had
two.
that
Yes.
actually that very specifically has happened. Now that I think about it, I do think that actually there was some particular programming that went into
Nice.
it.
So
Our
specific
van
to
did
the
catch
people.
on fire, for example. That's a real thing that happened.
Ronnie, you got to check this out. Slothrustgame.com. It's
Yeah.
very,
I
very,
think
very
I saw
cool.
it, but
yeah.
I was like, I'm not even trying that thing.
Yeah, there I
It'll
am
kill me.
preparing for an interview and playing a game instead. That's kind of the story for my life.
So
Perfect.
the Pact is the latest album that you released.
Mm-hmm.
And talk a little bit about what went into that album, and particularly the fact that you guys have been sort of defined as aggressive and kind of cool, weird, and you just do what you want to do, which is kind of one of the lines in the song. So talk a little bit about that and where all that comes from.
So the three of us are just the type of musicians that none of us are too precious. We're not attached to genre at all. So we all listen to a really wide range of music. Kyle loves metal. I love, jazz and classical music. We all love hip hop. Will loves funk. So there's a whole lot in there, and we really like to play with it and experiment with different sounds, and not be too attached, and really live in the moment of each song and try to play it with presence and experiment with that.
So talk a little bit about the album and what's on there that we need to know as a fan. So say there's people here that go, I've never heard Slothrust before. I'd really like to check them out. If there was one or two songs specifically, maybe off the newest album, or maybe one in the background, like from the other record, what would you tell them to go listen to and describe the band Slothrust?
So I think off of our most recent record, a track that people here would enjoy is called Fever Dogs. I think they would enjoy Fever Dogs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time changes and it gets heavy. It's weird, but has a pocket most of the time.
Yeah.
So Fever Dogs. In terms of previous records, 2 albums ago, we released one called Of Course You Do, and there's a song on that one called Crock Pot that we close with a lot, and that one seems to be a crowd favorite still. So
is there some song or a project that is somewhere that was an influence to you? Maybe you cut your teeth on it and you said, man, if I could go back in time, I would love to be a part of that. Is there a particular song, album, or an artist that you think about that you'd like, man, I'd love to be a part of that?
Oh man, there's so many artists I love to play with. Janis Joplin, for sure. I would love to just be a supporting artist in her band. I actually really love playing for other front people too, and just supporting that and having them shine as well. It's nice.
Janis Joplin, I like that.
Did I see, by the way, in your video for Double Down, did I see Rich from Highly Suspect in that video?
Yes, you did.
Wow.
Yes,
so
you did.
That's, again, of course, Highly Suspect headlining the show today. How did that all happen? How did that go down?
We met Highly Suspect when we were living in New York. They were fans of the band and just started coming to the shows, and eventually we started talking. I was like, who are these people? And we, just became good friends, and
awesome.
We've been really close ever since. It's been a really good
and now
relationship.
You guys are out on tour with them.
Yeah.
Had you heard of each other from the scene? Because they're Cape Cod guys and you're Boston. So were you ever heard of each other before you guys actually met up?
I actually had not heard of them before I met them. They had heard of us. I think that's how we became friends, but I've heard of them now, that's for sure. Everyone has.
That's awesome. So who on your, out of you three and Slothrust, who does all the cooking when you guys are out on the road?
Clearly not Kyle, because Kyle's died from after, well, maybe it would be Kyle if he dies after a half day of food.
I'll just stop y'all right there. It is Will. He is the chef in the band by a long shot.
What's his favorite kind of thing that he makes? Is he a vegetarian? Is he healthy? Is he cheeseburgers?
He makes killer pasta of all sorts. Really crushes it in the pasta world.
Handmade pasta?
He actually does make handmade pasta. If he actually does. On tour, no, it's probably going to be from a box.
Gotcha.
But when he's at home, he fully does make handmade pasta. He has a pasta machine.
How else would you do it?
He's committed. Dude's committed.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. All right, so once again, you guys make some noise for Leah from Slothrust. Yeah. You will see her along with Kyle and Will on stage today. They take the stage at Express Live at 7 o'clock. So make sure you check into the band, and thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.